Hello and welcome back. Excuse me while I move the mic, it was in the wrong place. So we are in our creative world. Last time we had a go at building an engines build, electric engines. What we need to do this time is hook up electric engines to see if it actually does work. And we're going to do that with a whole load of creative mode stuff. Because I don't think this reaches far enough, does it? Let's check. Oh, that does reach. Oh, that's good. So we're going to do this with a load of creative mode stuff because we haven't got enough of everything else built yet, basically. Okay, so we lube in there. And we're very much building a parts kit here. Which we will have to assemble properly later on. Whoop. There. Copy and paste that over. Okay, we have lube. I don't actually know how many chests of what types we need here, so we will err on the side of plenty. Let's start off with requesters. Okay, these are going to request engines. They're going to request 2,000 of them, which is one train carriage. I should probably request slightly more than that in the real thing, so that we have a carriage worth of material here. This is still a really small build. I'm liking the size of this. Okay, then we need duplicating providers wherever they have disappeared off to. Yeah, and I actually don't know how many of these we need. And this is probably not the best place for them. Okay, so we're going to put some copper down here. I'm going to pick up a stack, so I've got some in my inventory. Then we're going to put iron ore up here. Again, I'm going to replenish my inventory. Wonderful. So if we now grab a bunch of Logibots, 500, and we will see if this works. We will also run max rate calculator over it to see if we've got it roughly right. Okay, so they are all working, but they may only be all working for a little bit while everything gets buffered up. Okay, we've got our big recharge fall off. This is quite common when you first start up a site. Good, I see some green circuits. I even see some engines coming back. Okay, so we are consistently not having any bots free. Let's put another 500 in. Okay, that's better. There's a weird effect where you can end up with all the bots out and stuck in a permanent recharge route, and you put in another 100 bots and suddenly 250 of the things roost. Okay, so how are we doing? So we are sort of partly there. We have quite a lot of... We have some red lights, basically. Okay. Let's find out what the issue is. We are probably under for iron smelting, but let's find out. Okay, so we are very slightly under for copper, although I see no sign of the green circuits backing up, so I think we're fine in reality. We are an entire smelter under for iron. Okay. And anything else? No, we're good for everything else. We are well over for gears, so I can probably take some speed modules out from the gears build. Oh, the gears build doesn't have any. Pipes, where are they? Right, we're just on the nose for pipes. Alright, let's have a look. So, we do have some red lights. And I'd like to know what the red lights are. So that's down an engine unit. And let's carry on watching. Well, that's annoying. That seems to be working now. Okay. So, what are we achieving? A steady 1.1k. And if this was running at full speed, we'd be producing 1.2k just. Okay, so the reds on the engines are real. Let's see if we can get any clues on here about what we may be under. Okay, so we are outputting 873 engines and we are consuming 864. So we're very slightly in credit for engines, but only just, and that does require the engines to be running full time. Okay, let's see if this is all buffered up now. So this is at 1.1, 1.2. Okay, so if you look here, this is producing 1.1 electric engines in the electric engine build. We are consuming 1.2 of them in the science build. So there's clearly a shortfall. Right, if this was so this is producing 870-ish engines. How many would we hope it was producing? 870-ish. Okay. So possibly it isn't the supply of engines that's the problem. Let's have a look here, see if we can. Okay, so the engines are going down and down and down and up. And of course now this isn't running out while I'm watching. Okay, so this is emptying out of engines. So I think possibly because engines take so long to craft, I think possibly we need to up the size of the engine request in each of these. Although, you know, they are being produced fast enough. Right, this can go. Okay, so this is skipping around the 1.2 mark. Okay, it's fine now. I think it was a buffering issue. I'm going to go with it being buffering. So I'm going to go with this build working. Now I am looking around for any smelters which are not running full time. I think the way to look at this is we are... Okay, 6.2k is the amount of iron we are producing. We're consuming 6.2, so it's all evened out. Now let's ask this, how much we should be producing. 7.1. Okay, so we have an excess of iron smelters. Possibly the 5, which I wasn't sure about. So we could prune out a handful of iron smelters. Okay, I'm just looking around. We've got 3 steel here. Oh, 3 steel there. So we have got the same number of steel each side. Yeah, we definitely have some of these iron builds not being used full time. Okay, I'm going to take a blueprint of the whole build, and we are then going to prune back a couple of the smelters. So let's decide which ones we're going to take out. I'm going to take out some of these corner ones first. So let's start with this one and this one. Okay, so we are still consuming 6.2k. We are producing 6. We're down to, yeah. So there's a big buffer of iron plates somewhere. Okay, where are the obvious places where the big buffers of iron plates could be? So that's 1, 600. All right. Then the other place where there could be a big buffer is the gears, but I doubt it because I think I've sorted that out. Okay, so the build was being weird because we had that big buffer of iron plates in the pipes machine. Okay, so if this was running flat out, we should be producing 6.6 thousand iron plates. Okay, we are producing 6.1, we are consuming 6.1, so that's balanced out. We are producing 1.2k electric engines. We're still producing 870 engines. So that is still bang on. Okay. So this is still working. We are consuming 6.1 iron. Sorry to go on and on about this, but this is what we need to trim. We are consuming 1.3k of plate. Okay. We're down to 6. Okay. So we still have too many iron smelters. We've got about the right number of copper smelters. We're consuming 1.2. $8.73 for engines. Yeah, we're producing the right number of engines. We've dipped on engines. Okay, this is about to crash then. So I may have to put those... Okay. I'm trying to find the other thing that went down at that point so that we can understand. Okay, that's not the problem. None of these seem to be the problem, so presumably it's a buffering thing. Let's look only at engines for now. There we are. And don't need to look at science pots. Okay, so that's running flat. Yeah. Okay, so I need I need ever so slightly more electric engine production to keep this consistently over 1.2. And I have enough iron, so I think what I'm going to do is come over here. Whoops. Right, I want this to make electric engines. Okay, so that's one fewer smelter, one more engine maker. And we'll see if this pushes us up over 1.2. So we're just providing a slightly higher pull. So yeah, there is a slight uptick. It might just be working through buffers at the moment, so we might have to find the next thing to improve. But there's clearly no issue with the iron. We still have more than enough iron smelting. Okay, I'm trying to find somewhere that the iron is not backed up. Okay, I think we're basically fine. Okay, so So this can go away now. Let's just get rid of it. Okay. So I'm not quite sure what to do because this build is kind of ugly, hanging out one side. But that's just the way the build is. Okay. And is this holding at 1.2? Yes, it is. Okay, and you can see here, that's where I added in the extra machine. Okay, so we're matching our 1.2 to our 1.2. We did this by adding in one extra engine build. Right, we still have a slight excess of steel. We're slightly under for engines, but only by half a build. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, I'm calling this. So, we can apparently trim off more iron smelters. I said I was calling this. Yeah. Actually, we're pretty close now. 6.1, 6.2 is what we're consuming, 6.3 is what we have here. Yeah, that is it. Okay, so I am calling that. So I'm going to end the episode here. This is our electric engine build. At some point we'll need to figure out how to get these engines into this here. But until then, that's it. We will come back next time and we will start to look at making furnaces. But until then, thanks very much for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.